Time now for the morning rush. Tonight, APD is meeting with community members, learning how to better identify drug houses and report them. Officers say they want to work with neighbors to stop drug dealers. Now, the goal is for people to say something if they see something and call 242 cops to report the incidents so that police can track the hotspots. Kristen.
Best coverage of today's rain and snow will favor the northern higher terrain here. We could be looking at even a few spot showers elsewhere, but more of those storms and showers are likely to come in tonight, and that's going to continue to fill in by tomorrow morning. Likely to see scattered to widespread heavy rain and mountain snow, and this will be an all-day event on Friday, with those showers and storms continuing even into the weekend. Crystal?
A Colorado father mourning the loss of his only child, Kendrick Castillo, is proud that many are calling him a hero. Witnesses say Kendrick rushed the accused Colorado school shooters, Devin Erickson and Alec McKinney. Kendrick, the only victim who died, 8 others were injured. The suspects expected in court tomorrow.
Florida teachers will soon be able to carry guns on school campus. Governor Ron DeSantis recently signed into law legislation allowing more teachers to voluntarily carry guns on campus. Now, the measure allows school districts to opt in or out. Teachers who do will undergo police-style training, psychiatric evaluations, and drug screening.
This morning, the FBI continues to put pressure on Cuba to extradite Charlie Hill, the suspect in the murder of a state police officer, Robert Rosenblum. Police say Rosenblum was killed in 1971 during a traffic stop just west of Albuquerque by Hill and 2 other men. Hill is the only suspect believed to be alive.
This morning we can learn whether or not there is a confirmed case of measles here in New Mexico. The New Mexico Department of Health says that the patient is in Sierra County. If it's positive, this will be the state's first case since 2014. Across the country, more than 760 cases have been reported as of last Thursday.
Legal battle in Washington, D.C. rages on this morning after the House Judiciary Committee voted to hold Attorney General William Barr in contempt of Congress over releasing the full Mueller report. This as the president used executive privilege for the first time, blocking lawmakers from the full probe of the Russian election interference.
Happening today, the UNM Board of Regents will vote to approve budgets for all of the university's campuses. The Journal is reporting documents show that the athletic department is expecting a nearly $1 million shortfall. Now, the department is hoping for either a break on a years-old basketball renovation payment or to postpone its first payment towards a deficit reduction plan.
A growing needle problem in a local park is the reason parents of one Albuquerque Little League team are taking action this morning. Coaches and volunteers are at Atrisco Valley Little League are working to clean them up. Commissioner Stephen Michael Quesada says he's working to install needle boxes and step up deputy patrols in that area.
A sudden change of venue has some parents scrambling to make new plans for their kids' 4-H event. This as the NMSU 4-H Horse School was told they could not use Expo New Mexico for their event this year. It's all because the state is going to be using the dorms to house asylum seekers entering the U.S. Officials say parents have until the 15th to get a refund if they cannot make it to Las Cruces. On to new news for you this morning. Santa Fe police could soon see a pay increase. A Journal is reporting that City of Santa Fe's 2020 budget includes a 10.5% pay raise for officers. The boost comes after officials say they need to keep officers in the department from leaving to other departments with higher salaries.
Metro Threat Index at a 6, looking at cooler than normal temperatures today with highs only in the mid-60s. We've got gusty East Canyon winds expected overnight. Those gusts could reach up to about 50, even 55 miles per hour here in Albuquerque. It's possible we get an isolated shower this afternoon, but better rain chances arrive overnight, and these will continue all day tomorrow. David?
Check your pantry this morning. If you have an old can of Pam spray, you may want to throw it out. This as over half a dozen people are suing the cooking spray maker after they say cans exploded after being near an oven or stove. Now, some people even suffering serious burns and blindness. The company is not issuing a recall, saying the product is safe and effective when used correctly.
This week, the city of Albuquerque is recognizing local businesses during National Small Business Week. 2 major initiatives for business owners kicking off, including a training program partnership with C&M, providing free training and schooling for employees, and a small business advocacy office. This will help them with things like financing and planning.
Beginning this morning, bridge work continues on I-25 southbound at the off-ramp at Gibson. That will be closed, the off-ramp itself. Now, the work will now shift to the eastbound lanes. The right-hand lanes will also be closed. That closure is set to last until May 14th.
State high school tennis matches resuming this morning. Play was suspended yesterday due to weather. The matches that did not finish yesterday, as well as 3 full sets, are set to be played today. All A4 matches through the quarterfinals will be played at Albuquerque Academy.
You'll have to wait a little longer to take part in the city's summer favorite. That's because movies on the plaza, they're delaying their start because the National Senior Games is going to be using Civic Plaza during June. The city says to make up for the delay, they're going to be adding additional showings like double features and matinees.
Lobo is back on the diamond tomorrow playing against UNLV. This game, though, will be honoring Jackson Weller. Weller was a pitcher for the Lobos. He was gunned down Friday night outside of a Nob Hill nightclub. Game time is slated for 6 p.m.
An Albuquerque woman is waking up with a precious family heirloom this morning. A few weeks ago, we told you about Sam Porter, who was trying to find the owner of a box of vintage photos found in his wife's stolen car. Well, that's when a friend of the box owner thought it could be hers. Barbara Martin says the box was taken when her house was broken into back in December. She says she hopes now to pass those photos on to her daughter. Kristen.
Time for a check on your Thursday morning commute. I-40 westbound still very sluggish between 4th Street as well as Coors and Paseo westbound near 2nd Street. But as far as a live look outside goes, the Big I seems to be moving at a posted speed.
Ahead of Sunday's game, New Mexico United is settling a score outside the park. Recently, the El Paso locomotive tweeted this photo asking if these were the team buses. United and Mayor Tim Keller firing back, tweeting, "Sorry, what was that? I couldn't hear you all the way from up here in first place." The two teams will face off on Sunday in El Paso.
All right, so France is about to have some smart sheeping roaming around the countryside. Here's why. In protest to a potential closure of a primary school due to low enrollment, a farmer enrolled 15 sheep into the school to boost enrollment numbers. There's no word on how the school feels about this, but maybe it's just enough to save the school.
Wait, into an actual school with kiddos? That's a bizarre story.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean,
maybe
I guess
the sheep were in low numbers, maybe the kids were, but anyway, they want the sheep to help boost the enrollment.
Either way, hopefully they get more money.
We're taking you back 7 years ago on this day, May 9th, 2012. The Whitewater Baldy Complex fire started. It was actually the Baldy fire that started with a lightning strike on this day. The Whitewater a week later, but the largest wildfire in New Mexico history. At one point in time, it scorched close to 50,000 acres in a day. So that was on this day 7 years ago. We take you now to the 5 facts.
At number 5, ahead of Sunday's game, El Paso locomotive is looking for some competition on and off the field with New Mexico United. Recently, the locomotive tweeted this photos of the team's logo on a garbage truck and Mayor Tim Keller standing in front asking if these were the team's buses. Well, that's when United and Mayor Keller fired back, tweeting, quote, "Sorry, what was that? I couldn't hear you from all the way up here in first place." Now, the two teams are going to be facing off for the very first time on Sunday down in El Paso.
I'm sorry, that makes me smile every time I hear it. It's really funny. Number 4, quick reminder for drivers as you head out the door this morning. Beginning today, bridge work on the I-25 southbound Gibson off-ramp will now shift to the eastbound lanes. The right-hand lanes will also be closed for this. The closure is set to last until May 14th, so be aware of that.
At number 3, looking at cooler temperatures across the entire state today. Rain and snow will favor the northern mountains for the most part. Isolated showers elsewhere. Tonight into tomorrow, strong winds out of the east gusting over 50 miles per hour here in Albuquerque. Showers and storms break out west later on tonight. Those will continue to fill in into Friday. A busy day tomorrow with widespread wetting rains and heavy mountain snow.
Number 2, now we're waiting to learn more this morning from the New Mexico Department of Health on a possible case of measles. It would be the state's first amid a nationwide outbreak. The patient is in Sierra County. This would be the state's first case since 2014. Across the country, more than 760 cases have been reported. As of last Thursday, that is the most in the U.S. since 1994. If you want more details on this, head to our website. That's always on KRQE.com.
And at number 1, happening today, community members will meet with APD to learn how to identify drug houses and report them. Officers say with the amount of meth and heroin on the streets, they want to work with neighbors to stop drug dealers. Now, the goal is for people to say something if they spot it, and of course, call 242 cops to report every incident so the police can finally track those hotspots. Now, they're also suggesting jotting down descriptions of cars that they see driving in those areas. Now, the meeting is going to be taking place this evening. That's at 6:30 p.m. at St. Luke Lutheran Church. That's in the Heights.